Okay, we're now going to fabricate the lower circle, and we're going to cold bend this 1.3 section of 8mm round bar around this wooden sort of form. It's an old cable drum, and I've bent other stuff around this, and it's okay. The problem with cold bending is that I could certainly bend it around here, no problem. The problem is that it will spring back out again, and so to bring the 2 points together will create a certain degree of tension. So a tip I found is to, I mean, this is the diameter we're looking for, but one thing you can think about doing when you bend these things is to use a smaller radius. This will give you the initial shape, and will create overall a slightly smaller circle, which we'll be able to go onto our wooden one for finishing. So what we're going to do is we're going to bend this around a 250mm metal circle. It's similar to the one I used for the hot forming yesterday, but it's just a slightly larger diameter. So we're going to bend this first of all around 250mm. So this is going to be tight. So we've got it tight there. Let's just double check that we're in shot still. Yeah, we're in shot. Okay, so we're going to start by bending this, and it's quite simple to bend because it's not that thick. But right, so off we go. And I'm going to try and keep it as parallel as I can to the top of the circle that I'm bending round. So it's going around very easily. It's better to actually try and do all this in one go. Now obviously I'm going to have a lot more excess than I actually need. So it's going around good. So I get to a point there, and of course you can just see that springing back out. Now I'm just going to put a bit more bend on this. So I've got a shape there now, which is quite good. I'm just going to put a bit more of a bend on here. Now it doesn't really matter where I start it off again, as long as I clamp it on there and just give it a bit more bend. So I'm just going to say clamp it here and just give it a bit more bend, and then we're going to transfer it to the wooden former. So I'm just going to carry on doing a bit more. Okay. So we end up with something like that. Now obviously that's far smaller than that, but you'll soon see by doing that we can then clamp it around the wooden section. So I need to clamp this down to the table. To do that, I just need to that's pretty firm on the vise now. Now, as you can see, I'm going to have to just manually bend this out a bit, and I'm going to, okay, now what I'm going to do here is judiciously use my hammer just to knock this back into shape. So that's formed very nicely. And around here I'll just take this off and I'll show you. So that's pretty tight there now, and it's pretty, but then we come around here and we've got this, but by just simply, and I'll try and do this with one hand, that's teased it back in. So I need to bend that a bit more just here to bring it round to there. So let me put that back on. What are we looking at? Okay. Try and get you a bit closer there. So I'm going to bend that just a bit more. And I'm actually bending that past its previous point. So I'm going to knock this back into shape as well. So this is looking quite good. Okay. Now I just need to now that's quite good. It's and it's more or less retained its shape. So obviously I just need to adjust. That's retained its shape quite well, but I just need to do some minor tweaking at the top here before I cut the surplus off. So at this point in time I've got the radius now, and I just simply need to mark where I'm going to cut the circle. That's quite tight around there, so that's got a good circle and it's quite flat as well. Let me just see, yes. So I'll try and, so we've got to, this is the point here. Let me just come out a wee bit so you can see. So somewhere around here, oops. I've got a mark. So I'm just going to do this with two hands, so I'm going to just put the camera down and then we can see. Okay, I've marked that now, so I've got to cut that excess off. So okay, so let's just mark that, and okay, so let me just see if I can just back out here. So you can see now we've virtually got the circle there, but I just need to do some minor little tweaking around the former here, just to get this area down. Okay. Just chip that off. Always wear goggles when you're chipping slide. Okay. Got that off, that's off. Okay. And well, as you can see, that's not bad. Let's just zoom out a bit. There we go. It's not a bad circle. Well, pretty good circle. Minor imperfection there. What's it look like vertically? It looks pretty good.